Okay, hi everybody. It is June the 21st, and we're going to continue with the pubic chakra and the information embedded within this bright red color from the second dimension to the blessing of virtue of humility to the universal law of intent. And we're kind of in the middle of the law of intent, so we'll just jump right into that right now. Okay, so there we go. There's Sanakamara. He's been teaching us through Linda Dillon, who is the channel for the Council of Love. And this information came through back in 2013. And as you can see, I'm trying to get us to remember the balance of the mother energy, the blue, and the father above us in nature. And then it's also below us. So in the water, in the golden sand, and especially in the energy that's coming up from Gaia. So there's a etheric council fire there, and that golden energy of gratitude is coming up to us. So it's really important to remember this divine alignment with gratitude is coming from below, but it's also coming down from the sun above as well. Yes, Darren.
In this picture you have of the scales of balance here,
Yes.
is there a reason why you have truth and hope on one side and peace and love on the other?
Trying to think back when I created it. Truth and hope, peace and love. No, I think Archangel Michael at one point said you can't have truth without love and love without truth. And he talked to Steve about that. And then my guide said to me, all there is love and peace. And then the other interesting thing about hope is it's very connected to the mother and perfect balance of the mother, the father, the one. Like that's the stillness. Hope is, it's not really a wishing and a hoping. It's really understanding the mother, the father, the one in the stillness. So I just thought they were really beautiful divine qualities, blessings, and virtues to put there. So no real reason, just me. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so let's just move right on. Okay, so reminding us that the chakra system is very much connected to nature. It is a reflection of nature, and you can see that in the colors. And yeah, and one of the main points of the universal law of intent is this divine alignment. So remembering the golden, the power of gold. So you'll see I'll put lots of golden words going up and down to remind us to stay in that gratitude for everything, because in that all the belief systems that are not of love just dissolve. They cannot remain when we're really in deep gratitude for everything. It's very difficult for the belief systems to hang on, but it's just going deeper and deeper into that. But this law will explain that. Okay, so there's the pubic chakra, connected to humility, connected to spine, the spine and the adrenals and the kidneys, and the blood being blue, the spine more that golden energy, divine spine alignment, divine alignment. We're anchoring heaven on earth. So lots of times they use that word anchor. I never really understood it until I actually put an anchor in front of me, an image, and then went, oh, okay, they're talking divine alignment. We're anchoring heaven on earth. It makes perfect sense. Okay, and then it's connected to the musical notes C and D. Okay, so this is the second chakra. The pubic chakra is a center for creation. It's for regeneration of Gaia, basically, and communication of global healing. So just think communication and repair. This often goes through the internet, which the second dimension is very much like. It's flat, it's not three-dimensional. It's where we communicate. So, and also the qualities of the second dimension are compassion is also associated with this chakra, and humility. surrender. So that's the inner work when we just surrender, and cooperation is the outer connections. And Albert Einstein said, often we feel desperately lonely and isolated. We limit ourselves with separation anxiety. So understanding the qualities of the second dimension of reconnection, our interconnectedness with all things, knowing that all things, all energy is one, so we can support each other. So the second dimension is really an important one to understand. Remember the first dimension, it was about ideas, and it's the reality of wholeness, of essence, of the spectacular ideas of self. So that's in the first. And the second dimension is more communication of these ideas that emerge from the first, and repair work of the second chakra, and cooperation and surrender. So yes, Darren.
Okay, when you say here that this is a center for creation, so would the creation formula apply here?
The creation formula, you're talking when you hold something in the heart and then you birth it out through the solar plexus. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
I think they're talking more, it's communication of repair. So could you use the creation? I'm sure you can use the creation formula anywhere, but they don't specifically talk about the formula, just that it's a center for creation. So, and it's more communication. But I mean, you can communicate creation through the internet. So yeah, I mean, we're always creating. Yeah, and most people are not really conscious of the creation formula. They just create. I wasn't, and I was always super creative. I didn't know what it was. So yeah, I would say, yeah, you could use the formula here. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Then moving on. Oh, okay. So this was a perfect example. I subscribe to this Community Solutions newsletter, and it's in America somewhere. And this is a perfect example of creation, actually, working about, through the second dimension. So it's this group, and they want to link housing and health for people that are struggling. And it makes perfect sense. They wanted to improve the outcomes of both of these operations, but they're operating separately. So the homeless services team of this area wanted to change that. They wanted to create a healthcare liaison, and the hope was to build a bridge between healthcare and the housing system, and saying that it would create relief for people that they were serving. And they believe that the key lies in collaboration between these two systems. Communities have shown that when these systems come together, they can assure that their unhoused neighbors receive coordinated care that addresses their health needs and connects them with housing support to help maintain their health. So you can see that's a beautiful example of the pubic chakra and the second dimension and creation. They're collaborating by communicating and bringing the two systems together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I can't see having one without the other working properly. You can't have good health without a good housing system. They have to go together. So, it makes perfect sense. I'm glad to see that, actually.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is an amazing group. They've been doing a lot of work with veterans and improving the homelessness situation in Connecticut, but it's expanded out. It goes all the way across America. And I just thought, okay, they're talking about bridging, they're talking about hope, they're talking about bringing two systems together. Perfect example. Okay. Oh, and the other thing, they're creating, they're using, you can see how I colored the words. And so anything connected to the heart, I always do green. And housing is connected to the home. Our heart is our home. So the more we operate from our heart space, then we're home. And Lao Tzu talks about this as well. So he calls we're home when we can crack open the door and see the possibility. So this is a group that sees possibility, and they're working on bringing people together. Okay. And golden, it's always about systems. It's about alignment. Think the spine. Blue is the movement, the mother's movement of the groups coming together and communication. Pink I always use for the self. So for reminding ourselves that we're angelic, basically. Okay. So, and then this is super important. I'm beginning to understand why we are to communicate with Gaia, like right when you wake up in the morning, like really plant your feet deeply into the heart of Gaia, minimum of once a day, because we're on this journey with Gaia, but it's also being in gratitude to her, like really deep gratitude. And when you're in that kind of gratitude to her, she just returns it. It's incredible. So it's dropping our root cord from that root chakra down through the layers of the earth, directly to the heart of Gaia. And we give her our cord, and we give her our heart, and we remain firmly anchored in Gaia. That is how we remain fully anchored in the fifth dimension. And I never understood this before, but the fifth is about joy and being in gratitude for sacred purpose. But what's our purpose? To help humanity ascend. So really for Gaia. So we stay in the joy, in the gratitude for ascension. So that's what we're doing when we're loving Gaia and we're in gratitude to her. Oh my gosh, send it right to us. And that's a way to stay out of all the old belief systems. Just be in that place of gratitude. And that's what happens when we surrender. When we lie on the bed and just surrender, guess what's there? It's this really deep gratitude for everything. So, and then everything just melts out of that. But it takes intention. So this is where we invoke the law of intent. And when we invoke the law of intent to be in gratitude, guess what? We get all the help we need from the other side. It's really amazing. Okay. So there I've got, you can see the lines going up here. So there's the blue energy, the green energy, the golden energy. It's all like staying right in that divine alignment of forgiveness, compassion, gratitude, all the blessings and virtues. And just knowing that's how the universal laws work. Okay, so there we are. The power of gold. When we're in that gratitude, invoking the law of intent, all of this melts away. It becomes light as a feather. And these are already, the divine qualities, the blessings and virtues are already light as a feather. So then the scales balance, because there's no judgment of anything. It's amazing how simple it is. But it's a journey, it's a process to get to this. So, but just know the more we're in the golden energy, it's this understanding of gratitude is really anchored in, and it's so easy to move around the world when you're in that. There's no angst, there's nothing. I was practicing it today, and it was like on a deeper level, and it was amazing. Okay. So, and then this is what's happening. The more we anchor in the gratitude, the body lightens up. So our sense of the light, what Lao Tzu said, it's connected to our sense of gratitude and our anchoring of heaven on earth. So just remembering the sacredness and being in reverence for ourselves, for everyone, for the entire journey. And especially for the ones that are playing the roles where there's abuse of power, or it looks like things not of love are happening. When we send them love and gratitude, they can come quicker. into remembering who they are. So we're becoming like these big lighthouses, just sending love. That's it. That's why the Monday night, when we just send love, it lightens the body. Okay. And this is my funny little thing where I'm like, this is me lying in bed. That's my head. This I just wanted to have a little bit of a funniness about, like, humor. So my bed is golden. It's not, but I'm imagining it to be. And so it's like the framework for the laws. And then I'm waking up, but I'm staying in the golden gratitude. I'm anchoring into Gaia. I'm thanking her for everything. I'm thanking myself. And look at the definition of humility: ability to be truly grateful. That's humility for the many blessings bestowed upon each and all. Knowledge that alone we are rather incompetent, but united with one we are all. So there's the building of the community. There's that community solutions group being in their humility. Yes, Ken.
Well, this is starting to make sense now.
Yeah.
I mean, well, linking humility and gratitude and service
Yeah.
and what's
And community.
Oh, and community.
Yeah, in community. Yeah, because united with one we are all. So that's where all the nonprofits, they're all working together. Even businesses and companies and golden age of Gaia, it's our everyone coming together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so if we're holding hatred, we're literally keeping it under the bed. Yes. Lillian.
This relates to the slide before this one.
Yeah.
I was reading a post on Golden Age of Gaia about an hour ago.
Yeah.
And it was talking about Mother Gaia and all the weight of all the people on Golden Age, and the lighter we become.
Yes.
Because we're more spiritual.
Yes.
Or more, I don't know how to say it, but we help because of our vibration. If we raise our vibration, the lighter we are, so it helps Mother Gaia.
Yes. Absolutely.
Like, I thought, oh, isn't that so interesting?
Yeah.
Because it takes that weight off of her.
Beautiful.
I thought, oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah. So that's why for us to remember the sacredness of the journey, it lightens us up. Being in gratitude, especially for Gaia, too, going down every morning and saying thank you, because this has been a really long journey. And that was the role of the masculine in a tribal situation. The men would get up and say thanks to nature and to the planet and to the weather and to the everything. That was a role. Like, that was a real role. And then the women were more like the nurturers of the kids and all that. But the men, that was something that they would do every morning. It was amazing. But I think it's kind of been forgotten. So I think now's the time for all of us to be doing that. Yeah, just get up every morning and just say thanks. I go out on my balcony and I thank the sky and the sun and the clouds and the people and the cars. And especially when Millie was around, I was like, okay, Millie, we're going out to say thanks for everything. She'd come out, we'd bow. It was so cute. Yeah. Darren, did you have a question or a comment?
Oh, yeah, on that slide there, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about humility there, and wondering if humility is really the ability to be able to hold gratitude deeply in your heart.
Mhm. Absolutely. Yep. Yep. Ability to be truly grateful for the many blessings bestowed upon each and all. So all would be the heart. Yes. And then united with one, we are all, that's all heart work. Deep love in the heart. That's community. The community, that's being home in the heart, where everybody's home. Yeah. But I was laughing about the underlying hatred, because it's like, I think I can't remember. I think it was Michael that said, my mom likes to brush things under the carpet and not look at them. So then when I was doing the underlying hatred, I'm like, oh, it's like the dust bunnies under the bed. Yeah. So who wants to live there? No. So yeah, just think of it as like, if it comes up, then you're just bringing it up from under the bed, and it's like, let's let it go. Let's come back. Let's be gratitude, even for the hatred, actually, because it's taught us so much. We really learned what doesn't work. Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't really have to be under the bed. It could be anything, anywhere that we don't want to look at, anything we try to avoid.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right. That's exactly it. So yeah, I had this conversation with somebody in the reading room today, just to face into it, not be afraid of it. It's just a feeling, but yeah, we're really good at going shopping or running or eating or not to feel anything. Or because she was a pharmacist. She says, I have all these people that come into my pharmacy and all they want is a pill. They don't want to feel anything. So she's creating a new pharmacy where there's yoga and other kinds of things.
Hey, that's great.
So really interesting. But she said, yeah. And she's her card said that she's like a mighty transmuter. So I told her, you're in that system to bring light to it. Like every time you're on the computer, you are typing in light for it to change. Yeah. Or talking to people or whatever. Yeah. So we have so many galactic brothers and sisters that are here helping. Sorry, a bit uncomfortable here. I've got the right setup.
What are you doing?
I know. So yeah, so I don't know. It's like there's so many galactic helpers here that are really light-filled beings, and they're just they have jobs in these systems that aren't working so well, but their light is helping to change it, or to help. It just helps raise the frequency and the vibration so it can change. Okay, so here we go. Humility is also the true understanding. It's a privilege to be able to serve, truly an honor. So yeah, sense of humility is a unifying factor. Balance, it brings us into the balance of equality. All of us are brothers and sisters. Sometimes it's perilous here. Sometimes we go into those perilous situations to diffuse them, because the peril is simply the creation of the human mind. So it's the belief systems. We cannot have humility without compassion. So when you go into the perilous situations, compassion is the ability to not judge anything. Because part of what humility is putting ourselves with others, not only serving, but allowing ourselves to be served, and knowing the exchange of gifts does not need to be of equal value. So that was when Lao Tzu talked about giving healings and the people giving him back tea. And he says, how can you value the tea or the healing? Like, they're both so beautiful. So just know, like, here in Western society, we feel like we need to, if somebody gives us an expensive gift, we need to give them an expensive gift. It doesn't need to be that way. That you can't equate someone being in gratitude making tea and then, you know, someone doing a healing. Like it's they're equal. There's no way to say one's more than the other. When our gifts in humility and service are accepted with gratitude, it makes everybody feel unified. It brings the vibration of love, and inside that love with joy and gratitude is acceptance. So acceptance is part of humility too. And then this is amazing what Lao Tzu said: when we can accept the possibility of love and our value, so that's our self-love and self-worth, our sense of the light, our anchoring heaven on earth. When that crack of the door is open, we are home. So it feels like what he's saying is when we can open ourselves to being in gratitude to self, that's opening the door to the heart, and that's surrender. That's what I found with surrender. It's when you surrender, we're really surrendering into gratitude for self, for being here on this long journey. It's been a really, really long journey. Mhm. Okay. So then this is where we learned about the first part of the law, the meditation, how there's a golden rainbow of color from light gold to darker gold. So that's the ray of gold and how powerful it is. And then the first piece of the law of intent was, what was our intention in terms of our mission and purpose prior to returning to Earth? Like, what did we want to be while we were here? Because we know how difficult it is here with the belief systems. What would we have intended to be? Like, we all probably came intending that we're going to be amazing, loving beings. And look what happened. You know, we weren't exactly that, but I'm sure we all intended to be that, like, for the whole journey. So we came with great intentions. And then he says, what is our intention for our life right now, for the completion of our ascension in the moment of now? And, you know, so is it divine alignment? Is it deeper gratitude? Is it, you know, a little bit more surrender or acceptance? So whatever we're working on, like, that's in the law of intention. So it's just really intending divine alignment. There's no creation that is meaningful in the sense of the universe or ourself without intention. Yes, Darren.
I would think that our intention is continually changing as we grow and evolve along the journey.
Yeah, I think that's the smaller piece. Yeah. Whereas the bigger piece probably was more overall, I'm going to be love. And then the smaller piece is, yeah, it can change. Definitely. When we are intending that which is a balance of love, of charity, of compassion for us, then of course it has the same reflection throughout all of the planet, all of humanity. So that's how important for us to be in divine alignment, because that's the law of as within, so without. That's the physics of it. We didn't come to Earth to be unconscious. So we really came to remember how to be in divine alignment and feel the higher realm feelings. Intention is the beginning of creation. So then he gives us a formula here. He says the collection of the creation codes. But really what the codes are is inspiration, imagination, an idea, the actions that are congruent, the behaviors, the heart desires that are congruent. So it's just how you would naturally create anything. This is just the wording of from the law of intent collection of the creation codes, and it's all about being in divine alignment. Simplify it, deeper and deeper gratitude, forgiveness, compassion. So here's an example of the intention to send healing, which is what we do on Monday nights. So we're imagining light and love traveling out at the speed of love. So this is Steve. This is when you breathe in and breathe out, right? You're sending it out. So we want to be in alignment, expression of our intent, implementation of the action. Yeah, Ken?
That's through our solar plexus, right?
For what part? Breathing, the breathing?
Yeah, well, yeah, I kind of forgot that doing this through the solar plexus is part of the intent, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, because you can breathe creations out through the solar plexus, or you can breathe your breath right down deep into the belly, the way that Steve does the breathing, and then he sends it out to the world when he sends love. But this, yep, the solar plexus is very connected to all of this. Okay, so imagining light and love traveling out at the speed of love, in alignment, expression of our intent, action. Inside the implementation of action, we're starting to bring it to fruition. So we're working with intent, ideas, imagination, infusion, which is often invisible. So a lot of our work, we don't see what we're doing. When we're sending love, we have no idea what it's doing. Like Lillian, you're sending the Yofi dust everywhere. Really know what it's doing. But yeah, but when we intend, the idea of it with our imagination, we know it's infusing somewhere. We know it is. And so, but it's invisible. So what SK says is intent is the starting point, intimate relationship with our sacred purpose. We hold intent. And this is, actually, I think I missed a slide here. No, maybe not. Okay, so this is him saying how to do it from the beginning of our day. He's got a list here, intention for our day, our week, our behavior, what we choose to receive throughout the day, how we wish to interact with others, inspiration we wish to receive. So literally, I don't know if you remember the app. There's an app called, let's see if I can find it. It's called Morning, and I've got it right here. This app, we talked about it the last time that we did the law of intent, and how you can anchor these little intention for my day and my week, intention for my behavior, intention for what I choose to receive throughout the day, how I wish to interact with others, the inspiration I wish to receive. Like it's all, you can put these little sentences into the app, and then that's intention with ideas and imagination, and we're infusing ourselves for perfect alignment, basically. But then SK says here, this is the one I was looking for. So he says our intent right now is bringing into our world a reflection of the divine qualities. So I kind of did it like a reflection here. The expression of our intent, of our divine intent, is never cruel, unfair, unkind. And a great deal of the work of transformation that's taking place upon the planet is not seen. So it is an act of trust, of faith. We're sending energy for a heart opening so the people are free to express, to thrive, to grow, to shift. And then we see sometimes in the news, that's why I'm always checking the news to see if there's changes. And SK says to celebrate the victories. If you come across something, it may be divinely guided that you're seeing this news item where there's been a big shift, to really celebrate it because you're being shown that for a reason. Yes, Darren.
Okay, you talk a lot about intent here, but
Mhm.
where does the still point come into this formula?
Oh, well, he doesn't talk about still point in the law of intent. I mean, it will come up in other laws, but this is really just holding intention, being intention. You know, the ideas are coming from the first dimension. So now we're in the second dimension of communication of intent, basically, of ideas, communication of ideas with intent, using our imagination. Yeah. So, and he's just saying to keep looking to see where the shifts have happened so you can celebrate yourself, because he did talk about charity a little while ago, and charity is the celebration. So whenever you see something that's, that's a change, a shift, to really embrace it, because the more you embrace it, the more shifts will happen. That's how it works. To celebrate the victories, and then it creates more of them and more of them and more of them until the planet is balanced. Yes, Ken.
And a good way to notice all that is to go to good news.
It's what? Sorry, you're sort of cutting out.
To go to good news.
Yes. Yes. Good News Network. That's a really good place for good news.
Well, I mean, it's a good way to be grateful and to do the shit. I'm sorry. Well, just that it's a good place to get inspiration for all of this.
Absolutely. It is an amazing source. It's a lady in California that started that, and it's really grown. So yeah, the Good News Network. It's a good place to go in and celebrate the victories of the shifts that are happening. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to say is, yeah, so you can see the shifts taking place there and celebrate those. Yeah, good point. Good point. That's what
Yeah. So, and then it brings us, yes, Lillian.
One of the things that has made a huge difference in my life has been the meditations that we do on Monday nights.
Yes.
I mean, I cannot point to someone and say, I've made a huge difference in so-and-so's life. But because we get together every Monday night for 2.5 years,
yeah,
I can feel that physically, that we have made a difference in the world.
Yes. Beautiful. I love that. That's exactly it. There you go. Yeah. So now we just need to keep looking and find the physical evidence, because it's right there. The Good News Network is a fantastic. And I should be posting more on the Golden Age of Gaia too. I did for a while back. I got kind of busy, but I'll try and find more to post. We should have Satara doing that, Steve. She would love that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's keep going here. Okay. So this is interesting. So when we send the energy to heal a broken body or a broken heart or a shattered nation, the recipient can reject the energy. We are not in complete control. We are a contributor, not a controller. There is a divine plan of unfoldment. Every person, whether it is an individual in hospital, an individual who is a head of state, an individual who believes themselves to be in dire straits, they all are in a situation where they are in desperate need to receive. But if their hearts in that moment say no, then that is accepted. It is the free will. The energy that we send, the energy of love and healing, is never wasted. That is one of the new rules of the law of intent. If our intent is to send healing energy, then what happens? It goes to others, plural, who are praying for healing. So they receive the answer to the prayer, to the plea they have sent out. So that's why I always say when we're doing our sending, it's okay, you can just send it. It'll go wherever it's needed. Because it has divine intelligence. So, and SK says to think of it as the energy of the sun. The rays of the sun go out, healing others, and the sun is still standing at the doorway of that individual we have sent to. And then say they're saying no, but the sun is still there, it's still beaming. But now the sun with our sun adds SK's sun, as Gabriel's sun, as Michael's sun, as the mother's sun. And eventually the power is so strong it breaks down and melts the walls. So don't think because we do not see immediate results, it is not having an effect. It is. Yes, Darren.
Yeah, to me, it seems like there's almost a universal law that nothing is ever wasted within the universe. Anything is, or everything is always used to good purpose, no matter what.
Okay, well, there we go. And interesting that it says this is one of the new rules, that if we send love and healing, it will go to whoever wants it. Whoever's praying for it. If the person that we're sending it to doesn't want it, that's okay. It's not wasted, like you said. It just goes. It's got divine intelligence. It knows where to go. Okay, so the unfoldment of the plan of the mother, the unfoldment of us, the unfoldment of our eating up. Things that may have taken decades are occurring rapidly, and things that have been in the works for hundreds of years are coming to completion and fruition rapidly. So we are not to stop with our intent, thinking, well, I've been doing this and it has not been working, because the intent, our intent is what we do. If our intent is to send the energy, then we do it, because that is our intent. Our intent is not formulated on the outcome. The outcome is the feeling in our heart, just like what Lillian said, of knowing that we have done exactly what we agreed to do. And a really good thing to remember is many of us work in the invisible realm, sending energy. That may have been our intent before we came, that we would do that. Because, yes, Darren.
Yeah, I think it's really important that we don't have ourselves tied in too tightly to the intent, because often the result is much better than what we ever intended.
Yeah, right. So just to send and not think too much about the outcome. Just let it be.
Yeah, not have too much
expectations of the outcome.
Yeah, in the details, not worry too much about the detail. Yeah. Have your intent big enough that it can incorporate many different avenues.
Yeah, well, I think going back to the creation formula, like when you create and you send it out, part of in the sending out, then the other side is adding to it. So right. Yeah, it's probably going to be a lot more than what we intended to begin with, but yeah. I think this law of intent is more about intending to be divine alignment more than anything, and intending when we're sending just to send, and not too concerned about the outcome. It's more about our own alignment, being in alignment with the higher realms and with Gaia, and aligning with the universal laws. When we align ourselves with the sacred universal law of intent, and we ask that everything we do, think, feel, believe, be in alignment with that sacred law of intent, of which our intent is part, and we keep to that practice daily, hourly, it will eliminate feelings of lack. What happens is we become more anchored, more enmeshed in the fiber of truth, because the laws are the truth of God. We cannot be in the truth and hold a belief system that is not in alignment with truth. And lack of self-worth is not in alignment with any truth. It is part of the old. So the more we just invoke the laws every day, all those belief systems, they can't maintain. They just can't. Like, it's impossible. So it's connected, and I'm seeing that it's really being in reverence for the whole system of the higher realms. And just knowing that we know nothing, but we can be gratitude. I know the more I learn, the more I know nothing, and the more I just want to be, oh, this is amazing. Oh yeah, and then, okay, so now he's talking about being, let's see, okay, we're already at 8 o'clock, and there's quite a few more slides to this intent, or to this law. So I'm wondering if this is a good place to stop. Like, how's everybody feeling? Yeah, okay.
I
So
will
let's
need to
just,
go. I will need to
Yes.
go at 8.
yeah, and then it's 2 minutes to right now. So let's just leave it right here, and I'll come out of the Zoom, or out of the slideshow. Okay. There we go. Oh.
Can I just mention something to Darren?
Yeah.
You asked about intent and still point. Intent is all about action, right? I intend to do this, whereas still point is about inaction, so to speak, passive. I have an intent to be in still point.
Yeah.
But when I'm in still point, I'm not intending to act, and I'm not using the mind at that point.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I see intent as formulating whatever you intend to create or do. It is the formulation basically of your creation. In still point, you're allowing that intention to gestate basically for 17 seconds. So it has that time to develop, and then you put it out to the world.
Mhm.
Right. Got it.
Yeah. So intention really, what I love about intention, about this law of intention, and it goes into it in the next slides, is it's a state of being. And if you're in that law of intention to be in divine alignment, the old belief systems can't live there with it. So it's an amazing law to invoke every day. I invoke the law of intent to eliminate all fear, but you can also say, I am the law of intent to be divine alignment. Yeah, so I mean, it's really something. And he actually brings in Archangel Michael in one of the slides. And I took it, I printed it out, and I took it into the reading room today, and I gave it to a bunch of people, and it worked miraculously. Yeah. So that we'll get to that next Wednesday. But any other comments or anything, or should I just close down this one?
Well, I have a comment.
Oh, okay, good.
One of the things that I started just before we started tonight is I decided that I'm tired of being negative. So since I've done that, I feel just much better. I feel good.
Great.
So that makes me feel, yeah.
That's beautiful. So that's working with the law of intent. I intend not to be negative or to release all negativity. like all negative words or something. Yeah. And Albert Einstein talked about that too, to really watch our words, because what the words that come out can indicate, how we're feeling inside. Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm just really tired of being negative. So now I smile.
Yay.
Hooray.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you can actually say, I invoke the law of intent for, right before you get out of bed. It's really, these laws are incredible. The more you use them, the more you realize, wow, they're really magical. And make
Yeah.
it fun. It doesn't need to be all like, oh, I've got to do this now.
Yeah, invoke joy before you get up.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, it's a great idea. Okay, good job. All right, so let me just close out the recording here. Thank you, everybody, for coming and listening to this. And we'll be back again soon to finish this law. It's not quite done yet.